it's all to play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hello, Aston Villa fans, and welcome to For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast for Team Sheet Tantrum for Aston Villa versus Manchester United. A game, as I said yesterday, whereby we almost always circle this game every year, because it's Manchester United, and there's serious history between Aston Villa and Manchester United. Not always good, from an Aston Villa side, but that is, I'm absolutely hoping, expecting, and wanting it to change today. At Villa Park, and we're looking forward to seeing what team Aston Villa put out today. I'm just checking here. Oh, the team is up. I didn't get any notification on Twitter to see if the team was up. So let's pop up the team here and we will discuss it amongst ourselves. So I can see the big man from Argentina is on the actual team sheet itself. So we've Emi Martinez in goals, Cash, Konza, Lindelof, Maatsen, Onana, Kamara, Tielemans, McGinn, Rodgers, Watkins. So no real surprises there at all. But there is a name on the bench that's a bit of a surprise, and we'll go down through the bench there. So it's Marco Bizot, sub goalkeeper, Luca Dean, Andres Garcia, Leon Root makes the bench. Youth player, if people don't know about him. He's a big strapping centre half, and that's he's obviously somebody who's in there to come off the bench and be a centre half if we need it. Lamar Bogart, George Hemmings, Emiliano Buendia, Daniel Malen, and Evan Gassand, who I would imagine is playing his last game before he jets off for the AFCON, as he was called up during the week. So the team itself, I suppose, picks itself as such. The subs bench, we're beginning to see, with the injuries to Pau, the injuries to Barkley, the injuries to there's somebody else missing that I can't quite remember now as well. That is causing a small Mings as well. That's causing a small bit of a drop off in the quality on the bench. Obviously, there's no Jadon Sancho on the bench there. Oh, sure, he can't play today because he's on loan for Manchester United. And obviously, Harvey Elliott doesn't look like he's in with a shot at playing for Aston Villa ever again. So when you take those two players out of it, along with the three players that we've injured, you do see Leon Root, George Hemmings coming into the bench there as two youth players. But look, we want pathways. We want pathways for players to come through to the team. And if these guys are good enough, I don't expect them to get time today, but if they are good enough, they will force their way onto that bench. That will also ease an awful lot of worries from a financial point of view, meaning we don't need to consistently go out and buy players. So we should want our academy players on the bench. And look, as I say, they're there in case of an emergency, I would imagine, today. Albeit maybe that emergency may not be too far, with obviously only one central kind of midfielder in there in Lamar Bogart, who is probably who will see some game time today. If we did need to move Kamara back into centre half, I would imagine that's what would happen there, and then it would be a case of Leon Root would come on there, or George Hemmings would come on after that. But look, we won't think about that at the moment. That's just forward thinking to see and talk about the makeup of the bench. But look, that team is good enough to go out and beat Manchester United today. No excuses for me from Aston Villa today. There shouldn't be. There was no excuses from Unai Emery in his pre-match notes, in his pre-match press conference as well. Aston Villa should not be worried about the past when they play any other team. We should only be worried about the future. And Aston Villa's future does look very, very bright. And Aston Villa's future would look absolutely outstanding if we were to win today. 7 points above fourth place, 10 points above seventh place. And that is an absolute, as I said, for buffer zone, Aston Villa, buffer zone FC, that will be monumental to carry into Christmas. And a great shot in the arm for this football club, considering all the shite that we've had to put up with in the past 6 months, I suppose, really, since the end of last season. So Aston Villa, today the carrot is there for you. The team that you've put out is a team that they can go out and win this game. And I'm expecting and I'm wanting Aston Villa to win this game more than any game in the last of our 9-game streaks. This is the one that I want Aston Villa to win. I really, really do. It will be a brilliant Christmas present, and I think this team is set up to go out and win that game today. Now I'm going to try and bring up the Man United team as well. So just bear with me 2 seconds. I sent Paddy on the link, but I don't know whether he's going to be able to get on. While I'm bringing up the United team, I'll talk to you because he's in the new warehouse setup, which actually looks really cool. To be honest with you, it looks like it's going to be some setup when it's up and running. Nice to be able to get in out of the cold on a day like today, I'd imagine as well. But the warehouse is up and running. It looks pretty cool. It looks pretty efficient. Looks like there's plenty of places to buy beer. Also plenty of places to relieve yourself and go to the toilet if you need to as well, which is always a plus. And yeah, as I say, it's going to be a welcome addition there on match day. But I would also like to point out as well that, you know, always I would say to people that if you're in a position to be able to support the local pubs in and around Aston Villa, in and around Villa Park, you know, whether it be the Witten Arms, whether it be the Aston Inn, whether it be you know, whatever pubs are in and around there, the Sacred Heart, whichever one you go to, always nice to go in there and give them their touch as well, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that are going to be open on the Tuesday night, the Wednesday night, the Thursday night, the Friday night when there's no football on. So while the warehouse is a massive addition and a brilliant addition, an addition that's going to be so good for Aston Villa and for the surrounding area, for the regeneration of the surrounding area, give the local boozers an old touch as well, if you can, because it's something that's happening here in Ireland an awful lot, whereby pubs are closing down, and it's only when they're not there that you absolutely miss them. So that's just a little piece on that too, from a man who does like a pint. I hate to see pubs going out of business. Anyway, something I do want to see go out of business is Man United being in the business of beating Aston Villa, and their team is Lamens and goals, Dalot, Dorgo. They've gone with Yoro, Heaven and Shaw is our back three, as I thought they would go with. They've gone with Ugarte in there instead of Casemiro, so it looks like it's going to be Ugarte and Fernandez with Mason Mount, Cunha and Sesko then playing up top. Their bench is Binder and Tom Heaton, so they've got two goalkeepers on the bench. Fredrickson, Malacia, Mantato, I have no idea who he is. Martinez makes the bench for them. Fletcher's in the bench, Lacey and Xerxes as well. So they've gone with Benjamin Seshko up front and not Xerxes there as well. Look, I'm going to say it straight out. There's some dangerous players in that team there, but if we cannot get at that back three, and I say it again, I know that there's exceptional talent in Lenny Yoro. I know there's a lot thought of Aiden Heaven. But if you cannot get at that back three and they're inexperienced today, then that's a big issue. I expect us to get at them. I'm not saying that's a negative. I expect us to get at them. And I'm really looking forward to how Aston Villa start on the front foot today. And I really want them to start on the front foot and come out fighting. There's no Kobe Mainoo on the bench even. There's no Kobe Mainoo in the team at all there, which likely spends probably the end of his career at Manchester United, probably after the T-shirt debate. There's been a lot of talk going on there. So usually when we come into these games, there's a lot of talk about Aston Villa and there's a lot of unsettling that gets done. I saw that there was a piece done recently as well about how Unai Emery was Aston Villa's Alex Ferguson, and then, you know, there was somebody was raking the coals in the whole Emi Martinez to Man United piece again. Well, the negativity seems to be coming from the Man United side with the Kobe Mainoo piece. So that's a difference, and that's something a bit different that we don't usually see in the run-up to United games. There's usually something negative comes out about Aston Villa, but that hasn't happened today. Now, I do have somebody who, hopefully he's not negative because he's drinking out of a bottle of beer, so that usually means that he's probably in a positive mood. And I don't know if we're going to be able to hear you, but I can see you.
I can hear you when you were talking.
Yeah, you're very robotic here for me anyway, Paddy. I can't see you, and you're frozen on the screen. Would you want to give us? Are you in the stadium? Oh, you're in the stadium now. You're not in the warehouse at the moment, no? No, I don't think. I think our man on the ground.
I saw you
Paddy, I don't know if you.
Here. There's a Nathan Daw concert on in the background.
Oh, you're in the warehouse. Is Nathan Daw playing? Yeah, we're seeing this in 8-bit pixelation anyway. Well, I am anyway, Paddy. I don't know. I can't hear you anyway at all. How's Ronan? Get those chips in you. You're going to need those for later on.
Don't know if you can hear me.
I can't. I take Paddy off the screen. I don't know if you guys could hear him. I couldn't hear Paddy, but as you can see there, he's in the new warehouse, which looks class, as I said before. So that is that's really, really cool to see Paddy there. And Paddy, go in and bring us back to 3 points. You haven't seen United beat Villa many times in recent history, so hopefully you get to see that today. And so does Ronan and the missus there as well. But yeah, so look, guys, this is going to be a shorter one as well today. I do apologize. I'm kind of up to my oxters here and Christmas stuff and trying to look after the kids and things like that here, and a wonderfully lovely crisp Sunday here in Galway in Ireland. I've been into the Christmas markets earlier on today, but last Sunday before Christmas, I'm flat out at work now right up until Christmas Day. Actually, I'm working Christmas Day, but then I'm off from the 26th for a good decent period of time. But I do need to run away within the next 15 minutes or so. If you guys want to start putting your scores into the comment box there, I will go down through them as well. But while you're doing that, I will just talk to some of your comments also. Where are we? Nobby Wright says he's resigned to getting cheated today. Stephen Daly says he wants to hammer these clowns. Michael Huggins says this is a must win. Osgerm can't make it today. A longer way to the pub than usual. It is the time we do this lot. 3-1 Osgerm is going for, hopefully so. Where else are we? Rachel is terrified of today. I hope we can beat that hoodoo that they have over us for sure. Mr. Ponch says don't concede early. Merry Christmas to you as well, Black Country Villain, and good afternoon to you also. Marine Boy says 1 win at home in all competitions in 30 years. Yeah, that's going to be 2 today. Just like the way I'm considering this is XG is historical data, and it's not a predictive precursor to future data. XG isn't, and I will go toe to toe with anybody with that. While I think it's a valid statistic, it isn't the be all and end all. And like that, 1 win in 30 years is historical data. It's not a precursor to any future data. While it may very well end up being correct, is more coincidental than anything else. Should we lose today, and I'm expecting us to win today and break that, because Unai Emery is the man, and I want him to be even more of the man today when we go and beat Manchester United. Barry Fitzachary says his hot take is Villa 3, Man United 1, and also word of the day, facetious. Yeah, absolutely. That's my. I tend to use that quite a lot. That word, but I do love it. It rolls off the tongue, just like bungalow. Bungalow. It's a great word to say. If you're ever feeling mad or anything like that, say bungalow a couple of times. It just rolls off the tongue. It's fantastic. Great way to calm yourself down. Unless you're trying to buy a bungalow and something's going wrong, and that's what's causing you angst, then don't use bungalow. Try a different word. Then. Be Happy said we've had one extra day off the United, no traveling, let's bash them. That's actually a good point, and I think around this time of year, that is, United would have had 5 days. What we've had 6 days to recover. I think our team needed 6 days to recover. But in that period of time, Manchester United have just lost so many players, to AFCON. That has to be seen as a negative for them. So we need to go and early start today. It really has to be an early start. And like, as I spoke about our 2 young fellas on our bench, they've quite a lot of young fellas on their bench with Lacey, Fletcher, Mantato, Malassioni coming back, Fredrickson. They have 2 goalkeepers. Realistically speaking, we will see one of those young kids, and that terrifies me more so than anything else, because it's when United bring on a young kid that it becomes a cult hero for Manchester United. I hope the hell that doesn't happen today, and it won't, because we're in a positive mindset today. We're in an absolutely positive mindset as well. Where else are we? Yeah, a lot of chat about Kobe Manu. Kobe Manu. Amorim was talking about him today. He said that he has to. Can't remember, but he used the word he has to fight for his place, and he's completely out of the traveling squad today as well. So that is really interesting. I suppose it does put at least a nail in his coffin. I would imagine he's going on loan somewhere, which is strange from Ruben Amorim. But I will also say as well with Kobe Manu, he's a good player. I think he was anointed very, very early as a player. He hadn't achieved much of anything really when he was talked about as being England's next future and stuff like that. And think sometimes the media needs to calm down on that stuff, really do, and just like let kids develop and grow and grow into themselves before you start telling them how good they are too. That's probably just old school from me. So anyway, here are your scores. Hot Take Highlights says 1-0. Peter is going 3-0 Villa. Oops, forgot to click on it. Welland Valley's going 2-2. 2-1 says Black Country Villa. Be Happy's going 3-1. Ola Deep's going 3-1. Steve is going for 2-0. Dave Lacey's going 2-0. 3-1 is Lisa Jarvis. Dream Villain's going 3-1. Sven is going for 3-1. Mr. Ponge going for 3-2. Luke Harrison asked why he's Gasander. He's not. He. I think you get a dispensation when somebody's called up that late. I think you get something like a 4 or 5 day dispensation so that you can. They don't go. They go after your next game essentially. So I think that's why he's there. Or maybe you're asking why is he there in general. He's there because Unai Emery likes him. Where else are we? 6-0. Vichy Nation is going for. James Frankham is expecting a 2-2 draw but hoping for a win. Nabby Wright's going 3-2 Villa. RA Venture is going 3-1 Villa. Yeah, there's the 6-0 again. Sorry, I clicked in a second time. Sergeant Pepper's going 3-1 Villa. Luke Harrison's going 3-1 Villa. 2-1 says Michael Smith. 3-1 says Chris Hackett. Where are we? 4-1 says Drake Hall the Barber. Tony Madden says 3-1 we beat them. It's always 3-1 when we beat them, so 3-1 it is. Papa is going for 3-1. Roy Dog is going for 10-0. Why not? Chris Price is going 3-2. John Steele is going 3-2. Richie Ryan is going 1-0. Ola Deep changed his mind to 7-0. And England with Richard Parks is going for 5-3. And I am going for Aston Villa. Aston Villa 2, Manchester United 0. Do I believe it? I will at 90 minutes when it happens. That's when I believe it. But yeah, I want Aston Villa to win. This is the time, as I say, everyone's been talking about, as I said in the pre-match, everybody was calling us stale 5 games into the league. Now everyone's calling us mature. Semantics are an incredible thing. You know, they're an absolutely incredible thing where now what was our negative is now our positive, you know, and if anybody listened at the time, that's exactly what Unai was trying to tell us, me included. The reason that I like and that's what I think is in our favor today, because even though yes, we do have the likes of Hemmings and Root and on the bench, and we've Andres Garcia, who we don't see an awful lot, and blah blah blah. We've got those guys on the bench. We can still bring 5 players off that bench that are international quality players. We can bring 5 players off the bench that are international quality players. Manchester United have had to chop and change. As I say, that isn't the precursor to them being poor or anything. They've got a lot of young players on the bench. That also isn't a precursor to being poor, to them being poor or anything like that. But if we go 1-0 up, I would expect us to have the horses to be able to come off the bench, to be able to see out this game. If we go 2-0 up, I would absolutely expect us to see out the game. 100%. There would be no excuses in that instance, given the quality we have. We're not really missing, bar Pau Torres, we pretty much have our first team out there, or we've our first team available to be picked there today. There is no excuses. There is no such thing as bogey teams anymore. There isn't. It's 90 minutes of football, and we go out there and we win this today, and we put ourselves, the carrot is there, 7 points above 4th place and 10 points above 7th place. That's fairy tale stuff, given that we were on a low ebb 5 games into this season. Won't win this game. Simple as that. There's no huffing and puffing or blowing. There's no banging the table. There's no kicking cups around the dressing room, Alex Ferguson style. Nothing like that. You just go out and win it, lads. That's what's there for you. And you'll have a lovely, lovely Christmas dinner. Christmas dinner will taste nice. As I said before, you'll be able to eat your Christmas dinner without gravy. It'll taste so nice. If you're 10 points above 7th and 7 points above 4th. Because that's really, like, as I say, we're buffer zone FC. See how far up the league up the table we can get. Keep those buffer zones behind us. And at that, we will all be delighted and very, very happy Aston Villa fans. Right. I got to leave, everyone. Apologies for the shorter podcast here, the shorter stream here for the Team Sheet Tantrum. We will be back with a post-match podcast though as well. Absolutely. Maybe a shorter one, but we will be back to discuss a win, lose or draw. And hopefully we're talking about a win and we can be jubilant here and celebrate prior to Christmas. Thanks so much to everybody for tuning in and for watching. I know we go at the same time as the Aston Villa live piece as well, that Kate Tracy and Rambo normally do. So I really appreciate you guys coming and joining us for that as well, when you can get some stuff from the horse's mouth as well and from the club. I really, really appreciate that. We'll see you again directly after the game. And I meant to say it as well, if Aston Villa win, we will be doing a giveaway of a shirt. I'll announce it in the post-match game, in the post-match podcast, and I'll tell you how you guys can get involved with that as well. We will give away a shirt to commemorate the brilliant a win if Aston Villa managed to win today. So see you later, guys. Get yourself sorted. We're going to throw you directly into AVFC Stato's stream as well, and he will be doing his live watch along, and he'll bounce you straight back in here again afterwards. So go away, get yourself sorted, stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the Villa.